So now that we know what Next.js is, and now that we at least have a first idea of why we might want to use Next.js, let's get started with it and let's create a first Next.js project. For this, we just need to run one simple command in the end, this command here, but to run this command, we need to have Node.js installed. Now, we're not going to write any Node.js code, at least not right now. We will write some basic code later, but we'll not write it right now. But Node.js ships together with the Node Package Manager, which is an extra tool, which is the de facto standard tool for installing and managing libraries in JavaScript projects. And we will use that tool to create the next project. And that created next project under the hood will also need Node.js to execute. For example, for that built-in server-side rendering, that uses Node.js under the hood. And for all those reasons, we need to install Node.js. And for that, you can simply visit nodejs.org, and from that page, you can install the latest version of Node.js, whatever that version is when you're viewing that. Just install the latest version, simply click on there and download Node.js. It is available for all major operating systems, and then walk through that installer once that download finished. Now, once you have Node.js installed, you are ready to run this command, and therefore we can now go to the terminal, to your regular command prompt, which is built into your operating system, and there you can cd and navigate into the folder where you want to create your next project, and then simply run this command, npx create-next-app. Run this command by hitting enter, and this will now create a new next project in that folder where you ran that command. Now, you might be prompted to confirm that you're installing extra packages, and hence I will confirm this here. And now this will temporarily install the Create Next App tool and then start creating that project. Now for this, we first of all need to give this project a name, and I'll just use Next.js-course here as a name, but you can of course pick any name you want. Hit enter, and now this project will be created here, and it will set up a base folder for that project and install all the core dependencies this project will need. Now, once it's done, you can run the commands shown here to start your development server, but I will not yet do that here. Instead, I now opened this project in Visual Studio Code, the IDE, the editor I'm going to use in this course. Now, you don't have to use Visual Studio Code. It is a great IDE for web development, though. It's completely free and it's amazing, but you can use whatever your favorite web development IDE is. If you do want to use the same editor as I do here, though, you can visit code.visualstudio.com, and from there you can download Visual Studio Code. It is available for all major operating systems. Simply download the installer and walk through it. And once you have downloaded and installed it, you can open that Next.js course folder, which we created with the command here in the terminal with Visual Studio Code. Now here I'm using the dark theme. You can change this under Preferences, Color Theme. Here I am using the dark plus theme. And I also adjusted the appearance. You can do that under View, Appearance, and simply adjust it as you want. And for example, show or hide the status bar. I'm hiding it, but that is something you can configure however you want. Now, regarding extensions, that's a great feature of Visual Studio Code. You can install extensions there. And the only extension that I'm using here and that I recommend that you install is the Prettier extension. You can simply search for Prettier here. And that's an extension that will help you with code formatting. So with automatically transforming your code to look cleaner and to be more formatted and structured. Once you installed that extension, you just need to make sure that you go to your keyboard shortcuts and there search for Format Document and make sure that you have that shortcut set up, because that's a shortcut which I will press all the time, which will then auto-format my code and use Prettier. And to make sure that I do use prettier, under Preferences Settings in your user or workspace, so project-specific settings, you can also search for Format and make sure that under Default Formatter, you do pick prettier here. Here it is. So with that all set up, you will have the same setup as I do, and that is the setup I will use in this course. That is the setup we will use throughout all the lectures, and it is the setup which we'll now use to dig a bit deeper into this project we just created.